The massive space station hung like a glittering diamond against the velvet backdrop of space. Ambassador William Carter stared through the viewport as their shuttle approached. His heart beat faster. This was humanity's first official meeting with the Galactic Council. "Quite a sight, isn't it?" said Lisa Morgan, his chief diplomat. Her face showed both wonder and worry. 27 species working together for thousands of years, Carter replied. And now they'll meet the newcomers from Earth. The shuttle docked with a gentle bump. Carter straightened his blue uniform and nodded to his team of 5 diplomats. "Remember, we're representing all of humanity today." They walked through the airlock into a world of strange sights and sounds. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the wide hallways. Some had multiple limbs, others floated above the ground. Guards with smooth metallic skin led the humans down a long corridor. Carter had studied all the known species, but seeing them in person made his mouth dry. The Council had only discovered Earth 10 years ago. Most galactic species considered humans primitive, barely worth notice. The guard stopped at a towering door made of some strange, shimmering material. It slid open silently. "The Council will see the Earth delegation now," announced a tall, thin alien with purple skin. Carter and his team entered a vast, circular chamber. 27 platforms arranged in a ring held representatives from each Council species. Some sat, others stood or floated. Lights from above focused on a central platform where the humans were directed to stand. An ancient-looking being with skin like bark and 4 eyes raised a hand. The chamber fell silent. "We recognize the representatives of Earth," the being said, voice like rustling leaves. "I am High Counselor Elm of the Tellarites. We welcome you to this gathering of civilized worlds." Carter stepped forward. "On behalf of Earth and all humans, we thank you for this honor. We come seeking friendship and knowledge." A ripple of what might have been laughter moved through the chamber. Carter felt his face grow warm, but kept his expression calm. From one platform, a tall figure with red scales and sharp features leaned forward. "How quaint. The primitive species wants friendship. Perhaps they should master faster than light travel on their own before claiming a seat among their betters." Carter recognized the speaker as Ambassador Krell of the Vaxari, one of the more aggressive Council species. He had been warned about them. "We may be new to the galactic community," Carter replied carefully, "but humanity has much to offer. Our adaptability, creativity." "Spare us the speech," Krell interrupted. "Your kind barely understands gravity manipulation. You required our technology just to reach this station." Carter took a slow breath. "With respect, Ambassador Krell, history shows that judging a species by their current technology often proves unwise." The Vaxari's eyes narrowed. "Is that a threat, human?" "Simply an observation," Carter said. "Humans learn quickly." The Vaxari delegation stood abruptly. This is the problem with allowing undeveloped species into these chambers. They lack proper respect. Krell turned to the other Council members. "I will not waste time with these newcomers." With that, the entire Vaxari delegation swept from their platform and left the chamber. High Counselor Elma raised a hand again. "Please excuse Ambassador Krell. The Vaxari are traditional in their views. Let us continue with formal recognitions." The meeting proceeded, but Carter noticed many Council members barely paying attention. To them, humans were just another young species, hardly worth notice. 3 days later, the news arrived. Vaxari warships had launched an unprovoked attack on Earth's lunar colony, claiming it as territory under some ancient right. 15 humans were dead, the colony damage. When Carter demanded action from the Council, he received only sympathetic murmurs and a mild rebuke to the Vaxari. "You must understand," explained a jellyfish-like counselor. "Young species often face these growing pains. The Vaxari acted improperly, but your species is too new to qualify for full Council protection." Carter's hands tightened into fists. In that moment, he understood. Earth stood alone. President Allison Bennett stood by the large window in the Oval Office. Outside, reporters crowded the White House lawn. Everyone wanted answers she didn't have. "How bad is it?" she asked, not turning around. Admiral Susan Patterson placed a tablet on the desk. "The lunar colony's main dome is stable now, but we lost the east section completely. 15 dead, 43 injured." The president finally turned. Her face looked tired, but her eyes were sharp. "And the Vaxeri ships? Still in lunar orbit, 3 warships, each one bigger than anything we have." General Kevin Hayes, head of Earth's Joint Defense Forces, stepped forward. "Madam President, we need to respond. Our forces are ready, but—" He stopped. "But what, General?" "But we're outmatched. Their technology is at least a century ahead of ours, maybe more." The president sat down heavily. "And the council? Any word from Ambassador Carter?" Patterson's face darkened. "They issued a statement of concern. That's it. Carter says they consider this a minor border dispute, not worth their intervention." "A border dispute? They attacked our colony without warning. The Vaxeri claim they have ancient rights to any uninhabited worlds in this sector. Since we only settled the moon 30 years ago." Patterson shrugged. The large screen on the wall beeped. The president pressed a button, and Ambassador Carter's face appeared. "Madam President, the Vaxeri ambassador has requested direct communication with Earth's leadership." "Put him through." Carter's image was replaced by the red-scaled face of Lord Krell. His yellow eyes seemed to glow with satisfaction. "President Bennett, how pleasant to speak with Earth's leader directly." "This is not a pleasant conversation, Ambassador Krell. You attacked our colony without provocation. We demand—" "You demand nothing." Krell cut in smoothly. "Your species is in no position to make demands. But I bring an offer." The president's hands gripped the edge of her desk. "What offer?" "Simple terms. Earth will surrender all claims to off-world territories. The moon, Mars, the mining operations on the asteroids, all will come under Vaxeri protection. In return, we will allow Earth itself to remain independent. For now." The room fell silent. Hayes looked like he wanted to punch the screen. "And if we refuse?" the president asked finally. Krell's mouth formed what might have been a smile. "The lunar attack was merely a demonstration. We can reach Earth just as easily. You have 3 Earth days to consider our generous offer." The screen went black. "Options?" the president asked the room. "We fight," Hayes said immediately. "Every ship, every weapon." "And lose," Patterson added. "I'm not afraid of a fight, but their ships can destroy ours before we get close enough to do damage." The president turned to her science advisor, Dr. Joseph Grant. "What about our new ships? The ones with the experimental drives?" "Not ready. We've made progress adapting some alien tech we've acquired over the years, but nothing that could match Vaxeri warships." The room fell silent again. "What about other council species?" asked the president. Carter mentioned some that seemed sympathetic. Patterson shook her head. "We've reached out through diplomatic channels. Most won't even take our calls. 2 expressed sympathy but won't risk opposing the Vaxeri. So we stand alone," the president said quietly. "It looks that way," Hayes agreed. "But Madam President, Earth has always fought against the odds. If these Vaxeri think we'll just roll over and give up our colonies, they've seriously misjudged humanity." The president stood. "Get me everything we know about Vaxeri ships, their weapons, their tactics. And I want hourly updates from our colonies. If we're going to fight, we need every advantage we can get." As the others filed out, Patterson lingered. "They expect us to surrender. The entire council probably expects it too." "Then they don't know humans very well," the president replied. "We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own worst impulses. We'll survive this too." Outside, the first defense ships were already lifting off, heading to defend a world that had suddenly become much smaller in a very large and dangerous galaxy. Dr. Olivia Martinez hadn't slept in 36 hours. Her lab deep under the Rocky Mountains buzzed with activity as scientists and engineers worked frantically around her. Screens covered the walls, showing spacecraft designs and strange alien technology. "Try it again," she told her assistant, Ben Clark. "Increased the neural input by 15%. Then adjusted controls on a panel connected to what looked like a pilot's seat surrounded by floating holographic displays. That's pushing the safety limits, Dr. Martinez. Safety limits were for peacetime. We don't have that luxury anymore." In the center of the lab sat a strange device. It was partly Earth technology, partly salvaged from crashed alien scouts over the years. The Defense Research Division had been reverse engineering alien tech for a decade, but now they needed results in days, not years. "System ready," Ben announced. "Who's testing it?" "I am," said a voice from the doorway. A woman in a flight suit walked in. "Lieutenant Amy Howard, volunteer test pilot." Dr. Martinez nodded. "It's dangerous. The neural interface might overwhelm your brain. Better than watching the Vaxari destroy our colonies." Lieutenant Howard sat in the chair and allowed technicians to place sensors on her temples. "Begin sequence," Martinez ordered. The room dimmed. Lights on the alien device pulsed. Howard gasped as the neural interface activated, connecting her mind directly to the system. "What do you see?" Martinez asked urgently. "Everything," Howard whispered. "The ship. I can feel it like it's part of me. Every system, every control." Her hands moved rapidly through the holographic displays. "It's responding to my thoughts faster than I can move my hands." Martinez checked the readings. "This is incredible. The response time is 3 times faster than any Vaxari pilot could achieve." Howard's eyes opened wide. "I can see patterns in the data, weaknesses in their shield configurations." "That's enough," Martinez said after another minute. "Shut it down before it burns out her neural pathways." The system powered down. Howard slumped in the chair, exhausted but smiling. "It works," she said. "We can fly circles around them with this." Martinez nodded. "What the Council doesn't understand is how human brains are different. Our neural patterns can interface with this technology in ways their species can't. We just need time to install these systems in our ships." Thousands of miles away, Captain Daniel Wright of the Earth Defense Force ship Defiant faced a very different problem. His small patrol vessel had stumbled upon 3 Vaxari warships heading toward Earth's Mars colony. "Options?" he asked his bridge crew. "None good, sir," his tactical officer replied. "We're outgunned at least 30 to 1. Wright studied the scanner readings. The Vaxari hadn't detected them yet, hidden as they were in the shadow of an asteroid. "What if we don't fight fair?" he said. "Arm 2 nuclear missiles and target their lead ship's engine section. Set 1 mining charge to detonate inside this asteroid." "Sir," his officer questioned. "Trust me. When I give the word, fire both missiles, then maximum thrust away from here." The bridge crew worked quickly. When everything was ready, Wright gave a grim smile. "Fire missiles, detonate the charge, and punch it." The mining charge exploded, shattering the asteroid into thousands of pieces that shot toward the Vaxari ships. At the same moment, 2 missiles streaked out from the debris cloud. The Vaxari detected the incoming threats too late. 1 missile hit the lead ship's engines. Instead of a small explosion, the missile's impact caused a chain reaction through the alien vessel. The ship's own power core detonated, the explosion taking out a second Vaxari ship nearby. "Hard turn," Wright ordered. "Use the explosion as cover." The Defiant shot away as the 3rd Vaxari ship tried to target them through the debris and radiation. By the time they had a clear shot, the human ship was gone. News of Captain Wright's victory spread quickly. 2 Vaxari warships destroyed, a 3rd damaged, by a single small Earth vessel. In the Galactic Council chambers, representatives whispered to each other. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humans were supposed to be primitive, easy to conquer. Perhaps they had misjudged these newcomers from Earth. The great chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with unusual energy. All 27 member species had gathered for an emergency session. At the center of the room, Ambassador William Carter stood on the speaking platform, facing the council members who sat in rising tiers around him. "Earth demands justice," Carter said, his voice firm despite his exhaustion. "The Vaxari attack was unprovoked. We have provided evidence of their aggression." Lord Krell rose from the Vaxari section, his red scales gleaming under the chamber lights. "The human vessel destroyed 2 of our peaceful patrol ships. We demand sanctions against Earth for this illegal military action." The head counselor, the ancient Tellarate named Elm, raised a gnarled hand for silence. "We have reviewed the evidence from both sides. It appears the Vaxari ships were moving toward the human Mars colony with weapons active. A standard defensive posture," Krell argued. "These humans attacked without warning, using primitive but effective nuclear weapons. Such weapons are restricted under Council law." Carter stepped forward. "We used what we had against ships that outgunned us 30-1. Ships that had already attacked our lunar colony." A counselor from a species that looked like a blue jellyfish floated forward. "This conflict is regrettable but not unexpected. Young species often resist when first encountering superior civilizations. The humans will learn their place, as others have before them." Carter looked around the chamber. Most representatives showed little interest in Earth's problems. To them, this was simply galactic politics as usual. A stronger species asserting dominance over a weaker one. "And what is our place, exactly?" Carter asked, letting his anger show. "To surrender our colonies, to become servants, to accept reality," Krell said smoothly. "The reality that you are primitive newcomers in a galaxy of ancient powers." From the highest tier, a figure moved forward. It belonged to the Myriad, a mysterious species that rarely spoke at council meetings. The Myriad representative had a shifting form that never quite settled into one shape. "We have concerns," the Myriad said in a musical voice. "The Vaxari pattern of behavior is familiar. This is the 3rd young species they have confronted in the last century." Krell hissed. "Our internal affairs are not council business." The ancient Tellarate counselor Elm leaned forward. "Perhaps they should be, if those affairs involve unprovoked attacks on council members." "Earth is barely a member," Krell shot back. "They have no colonies recognized by this council." "A technicality you are exploiting," Carter said. He turned to address the entire council. "While we debate, the Vaxari are preparing to attack our Mars colony. Thousands of human lives are at risk." The chamber fell silent for a moment. Then the Tellarate spoke again. "This council moves slowly, Ambassador Carter. We must consider all aspects before taking action." "While you consider," Carter said bitterly, "my people die." In a corner of the chamber, a group of council observers watched the debate with great interest. They represented various intelligence agencies, studying how this unusual new species responded to pressure. "The humans are not reacting as expected," one observer noted. "Most young species surrender quickly when facing superior technology." "These humans are different," another replied. "The Vaxari expected an easy conquest. Instead, they lost 2 warships." "Luck," said a third observer, "or perhaps desperation." "Perhaps," the first agreed. "But the Vaxari now prepare a major fleet to attack the Mars colony. We shall see if luck holds for these humans." Back at the speaking platform, Carter made his final appeal. "Earth asks only for the protection all council members should receive. We came to you in peace. We still desire peace. But make no mistake, we will defend our people." Krell laughed, the sound harsh and grating. "With what? Your primitive weapons? Your handful of ships? The Mars colony will fall within days, Ambassador. Then we will discuss terms for Earth itself." The council adjourned without taking action. As Carter left the chamber, the Tellarate counselor approached him privately. "We cannot move quickly enough to help your Mars colony," Elm said quietly. But some of us are watching closely. The Vaxari have done this before. If your people can surprise us again, you may find more support next time we meet." Carter nodded grimly. "That's little comfort to the people on Mars." "Perhaps," Elm said. "But remember, young human, the galaxy is watching now." Engineer Laura Wilson stood on the observation deck of Mars Colony 1, watching the red sky. Next to her, Colonial Governor Frank Miller looked through electronic binoculars at the distant flashes of light in orbit around the planet. "They're here," Miller said quietly. 12 Vaxari warships just appeared out of faster-than-light travel. Laura nodded. "Right on schedule. We're as ready as we can be." Below them, the main colony dome stretched across the Martian landscape. Nearly 10,000 colonists lived there. Families, scientists, miners. None of them soldiers, but all of them now preparing to defend their home. "The Council isn't coming to help, is it?" Miller asked. "No," Laura replied. "Earth received the message an hour ago. We're on our own." Miller lowered the binoculars. "Then we fight. Have you finished the defense grid?" Laura smiled slightly. "Finished isn't the word I'd use, but it's working. The Vaxari are in for some surprises." For the past 3 days, every engineer and technician on Mars had worked nonstop. Laura's team had created a network of defensive weapons unlike anything the Vaxari had seen before. They combined Earth technology with reverse-engineered alien systems in ways that made no sense by conventional standards, but might just work. "All colonists to emergency stations," announced a voice over the colony speakers. "This is not a drill. All non-essential personnel to the inner shelters." Laura's communicator beeped. "Wilson here," she answered. "Engineer Wilson, we're detecting landing craft launching from the Vaxari ships," said a tense voice. "At least 30 of them. Estimated arrival in 20 minutes. Activate Defense Grid Level 1, Laura ordered. "Let's see what they do when they hit our first surprise." High above Mars, the Vaxari commander, General Zoth, watched his display with confidence. His flagship, the Conqueror, was the largest warship in the fleet. The human colony below had no chance against his forces. "Landing craft away," General reported, his second-in-command. "Scans show minimal defenses. This will be even easier than we thought." "Do not underestimate these humans," Zoth warned. "They destroyed 2 of our ships with their primitive vessel. That should not have been possible. A lucky tactic that will not work twice," the officer replied. "Our shields are at full strength. Nevertheless, approach with caution. I want this colony intact. The resources here are valuable." The landing craft entered the thin Martian atmosphere, descending in perfect formation toward the main colony dome. Their sensors detected no significant weapons, just the expected life support systems and weak energy signatures. "First wave, prepare tow." The Vaxari commander's order was cut short as dozens of hidden weapon emplacements emerged from the Martian soil. "What are those?" Zoth demanded, watching from orbit. Before anyone could answer, the weapons fired. But instead of energy beams or projectiles, they released pulses that scrambled the Vaxari landing craft's navigation systems. 3 crashed immediately. Others spun out of control. "They're using modified shield technology as a weapon," an officer reported in disbelief. "It's creating localized gravity distortions. Our ships can't compensate." Zoth slammed a fist on his command chair. "Land the troops away from those weapons. We'll approach on foot." Laura watched from the control center as the Vaxari changed tactics. "They're landing 5 kilometers out and sending ground troops," she told Governor Miller. "Activate the second line of defenses." As the Vaxari troops marched across the Martian surface, automated defense drones emerged from hiding places, built from mining equipment and controlled by human operators using the new neural interfaces. The drones moved with surprising speed and unpredictable patterns. "What are those things?" asked a Vaxari squad leader as the drones approached. "They don't match any known Earth weapons." "Because we just built them 3 days ago," Laura whispered to herself as she watched the battle unfold on monitors. The Vaxeri troops fired at the drones, but the machines kept coming. When hit, some exploded, taking Vaxeri soldiers with them. Others released clouds of particles that clogged the aliens' breathing filters. From orbit, General Zoth watched in growing anger as his ground forces struggled. "This was supposed to be simple," he growled. "Launch full-scale bombardment. Target their main power core." "But General, you said you wanted the colony intact." Change of plans. These humans need to learn their place. The battle for Mars had begun. What the Vaxeri expected to win in hours would stretch into days. And in distant corners of the galaxy, Council observers watched with growing amazement as humanity fought back against impossible odds. News of the Mars colony's resistance spread quickly through the Galactic Council. What should have been a quick victory for the Vaxeri had turned into a week-long struggle. Ambassador William Carter walked into the council chamber with a new confidence. This time, more representatives paid attention. "The humans continue to resist," said the Tellarite Councillor Elm, opening the session. "It has been 7 Earth days since the Vaxeri forces attacked the Mars colony." Lord Krell stood, his red scales darker with anger. "This delay is temporary. Our forces will crush this rebellion soon." "Is it still a rebellion when you attack someone's home without cause?" Carter asked. He displayed images of the battle for Mars on the chamber's main screen. "These are civilian colonists defending their families. Scientists and engineers, not soldiers." A murmur went through the chamber. Several councillors leaned forward with interest. "The Vaxeri claim legal right to these territories," said the blue jellyfish councillor. "Based on what?" Carter challenged. "Records so old no one can verify them. Convenient claims that appear whenever a resource-rich world is settled by a young species." The myriad representative shifted forward, their form rippling like water. "We have examined historical records. The Vaxeri have made similar claims against 3 other developing species in the past century. All 3 now serve as client states to the Vaxeri Empire." Krell hissed. "Our internal affairs are not council business." "They are when you violate council law," Carter said firmly. He pressed a button, and new images appeared on the screen. They showed Vaxeri ships firing strange weapons at the Mars colony. These are banned weapons under Section 12 of the Galactic Charter. Planet killer missiles. General Zoth ordered their use yesterday when his conventional attacks failed. The chamber erupted in shocked voices. Even Lord Krell looked surprised. "How did you get these images?" he demanded. "We have friends," Carter replied simply. "Not everyone agrees with your methods." The Tellarite councillor banged a gavel for order. "If these images are verified, this is a serious violation." "Doctored images," Krell shouted. "Human lies." "The images can be verified by council technology," the myriad representative said. "They appear genuine." Carter watched as the council members whispered among themselves. For the first time, he saw real concern on their faces, not just for humanity, but for what the Vaxeri actions might mean for galactic stability. "I formally request an investigation," Carter announced, "and immediate council intervention to protect Mars colony from further attacks using banned weapons." "The council does not interfere in territorial disputes," Krell insisted. "It does when banned weapons are involved," corrected the Tellarite. "That is our primary function, to prevent the use of technologies that threaten all life." The myriad representative floated closer to the center of the chamber. "We support the human request for investigation. The evidence suggests the Vaxeri intentionally provoked this conflict." "This is outrageous." Krell slammed his fist on the railing. "First these primitives destroy our ships, then they accuse us of violations." A new voice spoke, surprising everyone. A representative of the Elysians, who rarely participated in council matters, stood. "We have monitored this situation with interest. The humans display unexpected qualities. Their adaptability is remarkable." Carter felt a small surge of hope. The Elysians were among the oldest council species. The Vaxari promised the council this would be a simple matter. The elision continued. A quick resolution to establish rightful claim over disputed territories. Instead, we see escalation and banned weapons. Perhaps we should question why a supposedly superior force needs such measures against primitives. Krell's eyes narrowed. You overstep, elision. No, Vaxari, you overstep. The elision replied calmly. The council will investigate. If these weapons were indeed used, there will be consequences. As the debate continued, Carter received an urgent message. He read it quickly, his face paling. While we debate, he announced loudly, cutting through the chamber noise, the Vaxari have redirected their main fleet. They are now heading directly for Earth itself. The council fell silent. Even Krell seemed taken aback. General Zoff has exceeded his authority, he said finally. This was not authorized. Yet it happens, Carter replied coldly. And now we see the true Vaxari intention. Not a border dispute, but conquest. The diplomatic opening Carter had worked for was finally here. But would it come in time to save Earth? Admiral Susan Patterson stood on the bridge of the flagship Guardian, watching as Earth's combined fleet assembled in orbit. Every ship humanity could muster had been called to defend their homeworld. Military vessels, science ships, even civilian craft fitted with hastily mounted weapon systems. Status report, she ordered. 52 combat vessels, 38 armed civilian ships, her tactical officer reported. The Vaxari fleet will outnumber us at least 3-1. Their lead ships will reach Earth orbit in approximately 2 hours. Patterson studied the tactical display. Against any normal logic, they couldn't win this fight. But humans had never accepted impossible odds. Any word from Mars? She asked. Still holding, Admiral. Governor Miller reports they've destroyed 4 more Vaxari landing craft. The colony shields are at 30%, but they're still fighting. Patterson nodded, and Dr. Martinez's special project. Ready, Admiral. 25 ships have been fitted with the neural interface system. The pilots report extraordinary results in the simulations. Far below, in her underground laboratory, Dr. Olivia Martinez watched as the final preparations were made. 25 of Earth's best pilots were connected to their ships through the neural interface she had developed. The technology allowed them to control their vessels with thought alone, giving them reaction times no alien pilot could match. System check complete, Ben Clark reported. All interfaces are stable. Martinez walked past rows of pilots in special chairs, each wearing a neural headset. Their eyes were closed in concentration as they ran through final simulations. This technology wasn't meant to be deployed so quickly, she told Ben quietly. We're pushing the human brain beyond its normal limits. Will it work? Ben asked. It has to, she replied simply. In Seattle, Major Nickel Barnes directed civilian evacuation efforts. The Vaxari had transmitted their targets. Major population centers would be hit first to break human morale. Keep moving, she shouted to the crowd. Underground shelters can hold everyone if we stay organized. A young boy looked up at her. Are the aliens really going to attack us? Barnes knelt to his level. Yes, they are. But we're going to fight back. Humans are pretty good at that. I'm scared, the boy admitted. That's okay, Barnes said. Brave people get scared too. The important thing is what we do about it. As civilians moved into shelters, Barnes and her soldiers prepared defensive positions. They had set up jury-rigged weapon systems throughout the city. Some used conventional explosives, others incorporated salvaged alien technology. None of it should work against advanced Vaxari weapons, but humans had always been good at surprising their enemies. In orbit, the first Vaxari ships appeared in a flash of light. Massive warships, bristling with weapons, advanced toward Earth's defensive line. All ships, battle formation Delta, Admiral Patterson ordered. Neural interface pilots, take point positions. The 25 enhanced ships moved into position with uncanny precision. Inside each one, A human pilot's mind was merged with their vessel, every system responding to thought rather than physical controls. Vaxeri fleet is hailing us, the communications officer reported. Put them through, Patterson said. General Zoth's red-scaled face appeared on the screen. Human forces, this is your final warning. Surrender your planet now, and we may allow some of your population to survive as servants. Patterson's expression didn't change. No. Zoth seemed taken aback by the simple response. You cannot win. You must see that. Maybe not, Patterson agreed. But we'll make sure you remember the fight. So be it. The screen went dark. They're powering weapons, shouted the tactical officer. All ships, engage according to plan, Patterson ordered. Neural Squadron, attack pattern Omega. The 25 enhanced ships shot forward at speeds that seemed impossible. They'd moved in formations no conventional pilot could maintain, dancing through the Vaxeri fleet's first volley of weapons fire without taking a single hit. On the Vaxeri flagship, General Zoth stared in disbelief. How are they moving like that? It defies all tactical analysis. Unknown, General, his officer replied. Their ships appear to be anticipating our targeting systems. On Earth, Major Barnes watched the sky as Vaxeri landing craft broke through the defensive line. Despite the enhanced ship's success, some enemy vessels were getting through. They're coming down near the harbor, someone shouted. All units, prepare for ground engagement, Barnes ordered. Remember your training. These aliens expect us to break easily. Let's show them how wrong they are. As the first Vaxeri troops landed on Earth soil, they encountered not just military resistance, but ordinary citizens fighting for their homes. Construction workers wielding improvised weapons, police officers with standard firearms, teenagers using drones to confuse alien sensors. The Vaxeri had expected surrender. Instead, they found a planet unified in its determination to survive. The battle for Earth continued for 3 days. In space, Admiral Patterson's fleet fought with remarkable effectiveness. The neural interface pilots performed beyond all expectations, their ships moving in ways that baffled Vaxeri targeting systems. On the ground, Major Barnes and countless others defended their cities street by street. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives watched the battles through their monitoring systems. Many had expected Earth to fall within hours. None had predicted that the Vaxeri would lose 17 ships in the first day alone. This is unprecedented, the Elysian representative said. A species at their technological level should not be able to resist this effectively. The Telluric counselor Elm nodded slowly. These humans are unlike any young species we have encountered. The images on the main screen showed Seattle, where Vaxeri ground forces had expected an easy advance. Instead, they found themselves ambushed by civilian resistance fighters using tactics no military manual would recommend. Delivery drones dropped simple explosives. Construction equipment became makeshift weapons. Every street had to be taken at great cost. The Vaxeri miscalculated badly, said the myriad representative, their form shifting with what might have been amusement. They expected fear. They found determination instead. Lord Krell had not shown his face in the chamber since the attack on Earth began. His diplomatic staff claimed he was in urgent communications with the Vaxeri High Command. Ambassador Carter entered the chamber, looking exhausted but resolute. Honorable Council, I come with new evidence that cannot be ignored. He activated a data crystal, and new images appeared on the screen. They showed Vaxeri ships mining operations on the far side of Earth's moon, extracting rare minerals even before the conflict began. These are dated 3 months ago, Carter explained. The Vaxeri were stealing Earth resources before any diplomatic contact. This was never about ancient territorial claims. It was about taking what they wanted from a species they thought couldn't fight back. The council erupted in discussion. Even species that had been indifferent now looked concerned. If verified, this is a serious violation, said the blue jellyfish counselor, who had previously dismissed Earth's complaints. The Tellerate raised a hand for silence. We have heard enough. This council must act. I call for an immediate vote on peacekeeping intervention. For the first time in council history, the vote was unanimous. Within hours, ships from multiple council species entered Earth's solar system. They positioned themselves between the remaining Vaxari forces and Earth. This conflict will cease immediately, announced the Tellarate Counselor over all communication channels. The Council has voted for intervention. All Vaxari forces must withdraw from Earth space. General Zoth, his flagship heavily damaged, had no choice but to comply. The remaining Vaxari ships limped away from Earth, their once mighty fleet broken. 2 weeks later, Ambassador Carter stood before the full council again. This time, he was invited to the central platform, a place of honor. The council extends its formal apology to the people of Earth, the Tellarate announced. We failed in our duty to protect all sentient species. This will not happen again. Carter nodded. Earth accepts your apology. But we ask for more than words. We request full membership in the Galactic Council, with all the rights and protections that entails. A murmur went through the chamber. What Carter asked for was unprecedented. Normally, a species would need centuries more development before such consideration. The human request is reasonable, said the myriad representative. They have proven themselves worthy through their actions. I second this motion, added the Elysian. The humans have shown qualities we value in council members: innovation, determination, and unity in the face of aggression. The vote was taken. By a narrow margin, Earth was granted full council membership, effective immediately. As the session ended, Lord Krell approached Carter in the corridor outside. The Vaxari's usual arrogance was gone, replaced by cold anger. You have humiliated my people, he said. How did you do it? How did a primitive species fight so effectively against our superior forces? Carter looked at him calmly. You should have checked our history books before you decided to attack Earth. We've been fighting against the odds since we first walked upright. It's what humans do best. This is not over, Krell warned. You're right, Carter agreed. It's just beginning. But next time, remember, Earth is not alone anymore. We're part of something bigger now. As Carter walked away, he smiled slightly. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not through technological advancement, but through courage, creativity, and an unbreakable will to survive. The galaxy would never be the same again.